We're talking about something that happened between 12,800 and 11,600 years ago. There's no doubt, I don't think anybody could seriously dispute that the episode called the Younger Dryas was a global cataclysm on an enormous scale, and that it led to the extinction of the megafauna, all the megafauna of the Ice Age, all those iconic animals, the mammoths, the mastodons, the giant sloths, the woolly rhinos.
Imagine a world before our own, inhabited by advanced antediluvian civilizations that vanished beneath the waves of a cataclysmic flood. Did these pre-flood societies possess knowledge far beyond our current understanding? Were they perhaps genetically distinct beings, giants who walked the earth as ancient texts suggest? Today, as we stand before colossal megalithic structures, inexplicable with modern engineering knowledge, we must ask ourselves, what secrets did these early civilizations hold? Join us as we delve into the mysteries of these lost worlds, exploring the possibility that our ancestors were not just like us, but were part of a much grander and more mystifying past. When we hear antediluvian, we often think of a period steeped in myth and legend, predating the biblical flood described in Genesis. This term not only captures the essence of ancient pre-flood times, but also conjures images of lost civilizations shrouded in mystery and advanced beyond our comprehension. Among these, the story of Atlantis stands out as a captivating example, often linked with technological marvels that seem almost otherworldly today. The Atlantis connection is particularly intriguing. This fabled city, first described by Plato in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, is said to have been a powerhouse of technological sophistication with capabilities like flying machines and energy crystals. These Vimanas, as referred to in ancient Indian texts, hint at a technological kinship with Atlantis, whose advanced technology purportedly sank with the city into the ocean depths, leaving behind only the echoes of its existence in various global myths. Plato's Atlantis, a narrative crafted around 360 BC to discuss his ideals on statecraft and morality, was portrayed as an island nation beyond the Pillars of Hercules that met its doom overnight following a catastrophic disaster. Plato's account suggests that Atlantis was not just any civilization, but a dominant naval power that had conquered parts of Western Europe and Africa nearly 9,000 years before his own time, which places Atlantis firmly in the realm of the antediluvian. The city's opulence and technological advancements were extraordinary. Atlantis boasted grand palaces and temples constructed from a unique blend of red, white, and black stone, and featured sophisticated water management systems that would have been revolutionary at the time. This blend of wealth, resource management, and architectural ingenuity indicates a society that was far ahead of its contemporaries. Moreover, Atlantis's influence was not confined to its immediate geography. It established colonies and exerted cultural and political influence over distant regions, including Egypt and potentially even the Americas. This suggests a widespread dissemination of Atlantean knowledge in astronomy, mathematics, and engineering, evidenced by the architectural and technological similarities observed across these regions. This notion of a shared source of ancient knowledge is supported by similar flood stories and legends of advanced civilizations in cultures worldwide, from the Sumerian tales of Dilmun to the Hindu legends of Dvaraka. These stories, echoing the catastrophic end of mighty civilizations, could very well be distant memories of real events linked to a common advanced progenitor civilization like Atlantis. Archaeological theories and speculations continue to abound, with some pointing to the Rishat structure in Mauritania, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, as a possible location for Atlantis, given its distinct concentric rings and proximity to the Atlantic. Others believe the sudden demise of the advanced Minoan civilization due to volcanic activity might have inspired the Atlantis story, creating a bridge between legend and historical facts. The leap from discussing Atlantis's potential real-world connections brings us to some fascinating comparisons with known ancient civilizations, particularly ancient Egypt and the Minoan civilization of Crete. When we examine the purported technological capabilities of antediluvian civilizations and compare them with those of ancient Egypt, the contrast is quite revealing. Ancient Egypt, with its iconic pyramids, sophisticated irrigation systems, and complex hieroglyphics, indeed showcases a high level of technological achievement. Yet if we consider the lore surrounding antediluvian societies, these were groups said to have constructed even larger and more precise pyramids and structures. The precision with which the Egyptian pyramids were built, aligning perfectly with specific celestial bodies, could suggest that their knowledge might have been influenced or even inherited from these earlier, more advanced civilizations. Another intriguing comparison can be made between the story of Atlantis and the actual history of the Minoan civilization on Crete. Both civilizations are noted for their architectural and technological sophistication. The Minoans, for instance, constructed multi-story palaces at Knossos, complete with advanced plumbing systems and vibrant frescoes that speak to a highly sophisticated society for their time. In terms of catastrophic endings, both Atlantis and the Minoan civilization share tales of sudden destruction. Atlantis is said to have disappeared beneath the waves overnight, while the Minoans faced a rapid decline following the massive volcanic eruption on the nearby island of Thera, now known as Santorini. Additionally, the maritime capabilities of both civilizations are noteworthy. The Minoans were a dominant sea power in the Mediterranean, paralleling descriptions of Atlantis's control over the Atlantic with its formidable navy. These comparisons do more than highlight historical and archaeological parallels. They also suggest that the stories of Atlantis might have been influenced by real events that were then mythologized over the ages. The narrative of Atlantis, as crafted by Plato, may well have drawn from actual societal collapses like that of the Minoans, blending history with philosophical allegory to discuss broader human themes. Such cross-analysis not only enriches our understanding of these ancient civilizations, but also keeps alive the intrigue and speculation about how much truth might lie in the legends of lost worlds and sunken cities. The claim that these civilizations possessed technology and knowledge far beyond their time is not just a staple of ancient mythology, but a topic that continues to fascinate modern researchers. These prehistoric cultures are credited with technological feats that seem almost impossible by today's standards, particularly in areas like engineering, astronomy, and medicine. Take, for example, the engineering marvels attributed to these civilizations. They reportedly had the capability to lift and transport massive stones and align them with astronomical precision. Consider the Great Pyramid of Giza, whose perfect geometric alignments and precision in construction have led some to speculate that the knowledge to build such a structure might have been passed down from an antediluvian civilization. The ability to create such monumental structures, which have stood the test of time, speaks volumes about their engineering prowess. When it comes to astronomical knowledge, these civilizations are said to have been able to predict celestial events with remarkable accuracy. Structures like Stonehenge, with their sophisticated understanding of celestial patterns, serve as evidence of this advanced astronomical knowledge. It's theorized that many such megalithic structures were not just ceremonial spaces, but also served as astronomical observatories, providing these ancient people with insights into the cosmos that rival modern astronomical tools. The medical advancements of antediluvian civilizations are equally fascinating. There are tales of healers who could perform complex surgical procedures, effectively use medicinal plants, and perhaps even manipulate bioenergy. Such capabilities suggest a deep understanding of health and medicine that eluded later civilizations for centuries. The idea that these ancient healers had knowledge of practices and treatments that are only now being understood or rediscovered in modern medicine adds a layer of mystery and sophistication to their capabilities. Lastly, there's the intriguing concept of energy manipulation, where some theories suggest these ancient cultures had mastered forms of energy unknown to us today. This includes using sound waves to move heavy objects, a popular theory that attempts to explain how massive stone structures were constructed, or the harnessing of natural electromagnetic fields for various purposes. The potential that these civilizations had harnessed and used energy in ways that we can barely comprehend today not only adds to their mystique, but also poses questions about what other knowledge was lost in the sands of time. Delving into the myths and scriptures that discuss civilizations before a world-altering catastrophe, particularly the Great Flood, unveils a narrative filled with hints of advanced societies that existed before recorded history. Take, for instance, the Sumerian king list, an ancient manuscript that records the reigns of several kings spanning tens of thousands of years, culminating in the Flood, a pivotal event that reshaped their world. This document hints that these were no ordinary monarchs but beings with extraordinarily long lifespans and capabilities, suggesting that they hailed from civilizations with advanced knowledge and skills. Similarly, ancient Indian scriptures like the Vedas and the Puranas recount tales of prehistoric kingdoms where rulers commanded not just the loyalty of their subjects, but also wielded technologies that seem futuristic even today. They describe vimanas, or flying machines, and advanced weaponry that imply a high level of technological advancement. The Mahabharata tells the story of Manu, who survives a catastrophic flood, paralleling the biblical Noah and his ark, which further underscores the universal theme of cataclysmic floods across various cultures. These flood myths are pervasive, featuring prominently in cultures worldwide. From Utnapishtim in the Epic of Gilgamesh to Nuu in Hawaiian mythology and Deucalion in Greek mythology, these tales often center on a few survivors, forewarned and spared from the disaster that obliterates almost all life. This narrative of destruction and rebirth is a common thread linking diverse cultures and geographies, suggesting a shared human memory of a distant past where civilizations fell to great calamities. Moreover, many of these ancient narratives also talk about giants or beings with lifespans much longer than typical humans, possessing incredible strength and wisdom. These descriptions can be found from the biblical Nephilim to the Norse Jotun and the Greek Titans, often depicted as rulers or warriors with godlike attributes. This has led to fascinating theories, including the possibility that antediluvian civilizations might have had knowledge of genetic manipulation, enhancing their physical and intellectual capacities to levels far beyond what we can imagine. As we thread together these narratives and archaeological evidence, the stories of these ancient, advanced societies not only enrich our understanding of human history, but also continue to captivate our imagination with their mystery and the possibility of lost knowledge waiting to be rediscovered. Deep in the remote forests of Siberia lie the Gornaya Shorya megaliths, colossal granite blocks so vast and precisely aligned that they dwarf even the great stones of the Egyptian pyramids.
But remember that the ancient Egyptians tell us in many of their texts that everything they knew was a legacy.
With some weighing in at an astounding 3,000 to 4,000 tons, these structures pose a tantalizing question. If our modern machinery would struggle to maneuver such massive stones today, how could ancient humans have possibly constructed them?
Let's consider what we mean by advanced. What is an advanced civilization? Are we really an advanced civilization?
This mystery invites us to explore not only the breathtaking scale of these megaliths, but also the advanced yet unknown technologies that might have been used in an era long past.
That is one of the mistakes in looking for a quote-unquote advanced civilization in the past, is that we tend to be looking for ourselves.
The Gornaya Shorya megaliths, sometimes referred to as the Shorya megaliths, are a series of massive and mysterious stone structures located in the southern Siberian region of Kemerovo province. This part of Siberia, known for its rugged and forested landscape, forms a continuation of the mountainous belt that includes the famous Altai Mountains, stretching into Kazakhstan, Mongolia, and China. The harsh Siberian climate, marked by severe winters and brief summers, coupled with the mountainous and densely forested terrain, makes archaeological expeditions to this area particularly challenging.
The huge areas of the Earth where only minimal archaeological investigations have ever been carried out. I get it, it's a very tough place to work, and besides, archaeology has the view that there's not much to find there.
The megaliths didn't attract significant academic attention until the 21st century, despite earlier mentions by local historians and enthusiasts during the Soviet era. The shift in interest came largely due to the increased availability of information online and the efforts of local explorers like John Jensen and Dr. Valery Uvarov.
I recognize some patterns that appear to be man-made or at least non-natural.
Their publications and photographs, which highlighted the scale and precision of the megaliths, spurred wider interest and debate. Although the area remains underexplored in formal archaeological terms, the physical attributes of the Gornaya Shorya megaliths are particularly striking, dwarfing even the largest stones used in the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, which weigh around 80 tons. The precision with which these stones are cut and aligned, exhibiting flat surfaces, sharp angles, and tightly fitting joints without mortar, suggests an advanced level of engineering skill. This craftsmanship is reminiscent of the famous Inca walls in Cusco, Peru, where similarly interlocking stones have withstood centuries of seismic activity. A comparison is often drawn with the walls of Sacsayhuaman in Cusco, Peru, another site known for its high-precision stonework.
Incredible megaliths there, which archaeology gives entirely to the Incas, even though the Incas themselves recognized and honored the work of predecessors.
Both the Gornaya Shorya and Sacsayhuaman sites display an extraordinary level of stonework that challenges our understanding of ancient engineering capabilities. However, the sheer size of the stones at Gornaya Shorya makes the site even more perplexing, raising intriguing questions about the logistics of stone transport and manipulation by ancient builders. The Gornaya Shorya megaliths have captured the imagination of many, but they also offer a fascinating case study for geologists who propose that these giant formations could be entirely natural. Various geological processes, particularly those involving glaciers and tectonic activities, might explain their formation without needing to invoke theories of human or extraterrestrial involvement. During the last ice age, massive glaciers moved across landscapes, carrying large boulders known as erratics far from their original quarries. As these glaciers retreated, they left behind these huge stones. Additionally, as the ice moved, it could polish and create striated marks on the surfaces of these rocks, contributing to the smooth and flat appearances that some of the Shorya megaliths exhibit. This is not uncommon in other parts of the world where glacial activities have shaped the terrain. Beyond glaciation, the processes of weathering play a significant role. Chemical weathering, where the rock interacts with the environment, can dissolve weaker materials in the stone, leaving behind angular blocks that might appear artificially carved. Meanwhile, the freeze-thaw cycles typical of Siberia's harsh climate cause the rocks to crack and break naturally along lines of weakness, forming the angular structures observed today. The region's intense seismic activity also contributes to the megalith's mysterious shapes. The area is prone to movements in the earth that can fracture bedrock, creating sharp, angular formations that mimic the appearance of quarried stone. These natural fractures, caused by faulting and the pressure of tectonic forces, suggest a plausible explanation for the megalith's geometric precision. As tectonic forces lift and fold rock layers, pressure release can also occur, leading to a process known as exfoliation. This causes the rock to break off in sheets or segments, forming large, flat slabs that might look like the work of human hands. An interesting parallel can be drawn with California's Devil's Postpile National Monument, known for its symmetrical, hexagonal columns of basalt formed by the slow cooling of a lava flow and subsequent contraction cracking. This site exemplifies how complex and regular structures can form through natural geological processes, demonstrating that the precise and orderly structures we see at Gornaya Shorya could also be the product of dynamic earth processes. Not only have the Gornaya Shorya megaliths captured the interests of geologists, but also ignited a flurry of archaeological theories. Some researchers propose that these vast stone structures are the product of an advanced yet unknown ancient civilization. This theory is supported by the megalith's precise cuts and alignments, which imply the use of sophisticated stoneworking technologies that surpass those known from other ancient cultures of the same era.
Are we looking at the traces of a forgotten episode in human history? I think so. I think that's what's going on here.
These observations lead some to speculate about possible cultural and technological exchanges between distant civilizations, suggesting that the builders of the Gornaya Shorya megaliths could have been part of a widespread network. This network might have facilitated the spread of architectural and engineering skills across vast distances, much like how architectural styles were shared along the Silk Road. In addition to these mainstream archaeological views, there are several alternative theories that touch on more unconventional narratives. One such theory suggests that extraterrestrial beings could have influenced the creation of the megaliths. Proponents of this idea argue that the scale and precision of the stonework exceed what would have been technologically feasible for humans at the time, drawing parallels to other mysterious ancient sites like the Nazca lines in Peru, which feature designs that are best viewed from the air. Another intriguing hypothesis posits that these megaliths were the work of a now-lost civilization that had access to advanced technologies for manipulating stone, construction, and possibly even geolocation. Technologies that were superior to those of known ancient cultures and which could have been lost following a cataclysmic event like a massive flood or volcanic eruption, reminiscent of the legendary Atlantis. A comparison with the Baalbek temple complex in Lebanon, particularly the Trilithon, offers further context. The trilithon features 3 massive stones, each weighing between 800 to 1,000 tons, meticulously placed upon rows of smaller blocks.
This is called the trilithon. Each of these 3 blocks weighs 900 tons.
The similarities in scale and construction techniques between Baalbek and Gornaya Shorya raise additional questions about the ancient capabilities in quarrying, transporting and assembling such enormous stones. Just as the precise alignment of the blocks at Gornaya Shorya suggests advanced engineering skills, the Baalbek stones are also fitted with such precision that not even a piece of paper can slide between them. This remarkable precision across both sites suggests a sophisticated understanding of stonework that challenges our perceptions of ancient engineering. The Gornaya Shorya megaliths pose significant challenges for researchers and archaeologists attempting to uncover their secrets. The region is famously difficult to access, characterized by dense forests and mountainous landscapes that are tough to navigate. The climate further complicates research efforts, with harsh winters that bring heavy snowfall and freezing temperatures, limiting fieldwork to the brief Siberian summer months. The nearby settlements offer limited resources, making it challenging to support sustained scientific activities. Accommodations, roads, and communication facilities are all less developed, which is essential for conducting large-scale archaeological excavations. This lack of local support, combined with a general prioritization of resources towards more well-known sites, means that Gornaya Shorya often remains overlooked in broader archaeological explorations. The landowner, Charles Campbell, needing stones for building a road, directed his workers to the large mound on his property. As they dug into the mound, they unexpectedly broke through to a main passageway, unveiling the entrance to what they would soon realize was an ancient passage tomb. This accidental breakthrough led the workers to explore the inner chambers and passageways, where they discovered human bones and possible grave goods, suggesting that the site was used as a burial ground. These initial, albeit informal excavations began to reveal the megalithic art and the structural complexity that Newgrange housed.
I can't help thinking time capsule, that there was an intention to preserve this.
Recognizing the potential importance of the site, Campbell made initial records of the discoveries. However, these records were quite rudimentary and didn't capture the full archaeological value of the site. As word spread, Newgrange began attracting visitors and curiosity seekers by the early 18th century, turning it into an early form of a tourist attraction. These early tourists left behind accounts that provide a valuable perspective on the site's condition and the public perception over the centuries. The rekindled interest in Newgrange had a significant impact on the study of Neolithic Ireland, leading to more systematic studies and eventually to the extensive excavations carried out by Michael J. O'Kelly in the 20th century.
First of all, Professor, how did this great big stone and so many of them get up here?
Many of these big stones were lying about on the land surface since the end of the Ice Age.
An interesting comparison can be drawn between the rediscovery of Newgrange and the uncovering of Pompeii in 1748, where workers constructing a palace for the King of Naples accidentally stumbled upon the remains of the city, buried since 79 AD by volcanic ash from Mount Vesuvius. Both discoveries, made during routine construction, opened windows into ancient civilizations, offering unprecedented insights into their daily lives, spiritual beliefs, and practices. However, while Pompeii provides a snapshot frozen in time, Newgrange offers a glimpse into a far older, less understood epoch spanning several millennia, bridging our modern world with the deep past of ancient societies. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Newgrange, it's clear that this ancient site holds more than just historical significance. It serves as a testament to the evolutionary journey of archaeological interpretation itself. Beginning in the 19th century, Newgrange started to capture the scientific imagination thanks to its enigmatic allure and the intricate carvings adorning its stones. Early archaeologists and antiquarians meticulously documented the site, establishing a detailed record of its dimensions, carvings, and overall structure. These foundational studies were pivotal in beginning to understand the complex nature of this prehistoric monument. Initially classified as a passage tomb in the early 20th century, a typical Neolithic structure characterized by a circular mound with a long, narrow passage leading to a central chamber, Newgrange aligned well with other similar European structures based on its architectural features and the human remains discovered within. However, modern interpretations have suggested a broader role for Newgrange, hinting at its function as a ceremonial or ritual site due to its elaborate construction, astronomical alignments, and extensive use of symbolic artwork. This suggests that Newgrange might have served multiple communal purposes throughout the centuries, far beyond its initial categorization as merely a burial place. The mid-20th century brought about a transformation in our understanding of Newgrange, spearheaded by Professor Michael J. O'Kelly's groundbreaking excavations from 1962 to 1975.
We have a quite new and intriguing problem to solve. Perhaps next year, when we can excavate farther into the mound.
His extensive and scientifically rigorous work systematically revealed the structural integrity and design of the site, showing how the Neolithic builders expertly constructed the mound and its internal passages. Among his most notable discoveries was the winter solstice illumination, a phenomenon where the sunrise on the shortest day of the year illuminates the main passage and chamber through a specially designed roof box. This discovery confirmed that Newgrange was precisely aligned with astronomical events, indicating a sophisticated understanding of solar movements by its builders. However, O'Kelly's restoration efforts, particularly the reconstruction of the white quartz facade, stirred both acclaim and controversy. While these efforts aimed to protect and stabilize the structure, some critics argued that they might not truly reflect the site's original appearance. Despite these debates, O'Kelly's work has been crucial in preserving Newgrange for future generations and maintaining its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. An interesting theory that has emerged about Newgrange is its potential role in shamanic practices.
That advanced civilization emerged out of shamanism itself.
Some scholars suggest that the intricate carvings inside the tomb, especially the spirals and other geometric motifs, could represent shamanic visions or cosmological maps.
Shamans are very observant of the cosmos and of what is going on in the cosmos.
According to this theory, Newgrange might have served as a sacred space where shamans entered trance states, with the winter solstice light acting as a catalyst for celestial journeys or communication with the ancestral spirits. The site features a unique architectural element known as the roof box, ingeniously designed to allow sunlight to penetrate the passage at sunrise on the shortest day of the year. This small aperture is strategically positioned to catch the first rays of the sun as it rises, illuminating the inner chamber in a breathtaking display of ancient precision. The significance of this event extends beyond its architectural marvel. It lasts approximately 17 minutes and is believed to have held profound ceremonial importance for the Neolithic community. Scholars suggest that this phenomenon might have symbolized the rebirth of the sun, heralding a new year and promising renewal for the community. It likely served as a moment of social and religious reawakening, reinforcing the community's connection with the cosmos and marking a time of celebration and reverence. Today, the allure of Newgrange during the winter solstice continues to draw crowds from around the globe. A lottery system is now in place to manage the number of visitors who wish to experience the solstice from inside the chamber, highlighting the enduring spiritual significance of this ancient observance. The experience offers a unique glimpse into the past, allowing modern visitors to connect with the astronomical achievements of an ancient civilization. Notably, human bones found within the chambers suggest that Newgrange was used as a burial site, though not uniformly across all chambers. This selective usage adds to the mystery of Newgrange, indicating it may have served multiple functions, possibly as a final resting place for important members of the community. Drawing a parallel with another marvel of ancient engineering, the Egyptian pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid of Giza, we see a similar integration of astronomical knowledge into architectural design. Like Newgrange, the Great Pyramid is precisely aligned with celestial events, thought to have been oriented with the pole star of the time, Polaris. This alignment not only underscores their function as tombs or temples, but also as calendars or astronomical observatories, embedding the movements of the sun, moon, and stars into their structures. Both Newgrange and the Great Pyramid stand as testaments to the advanced astronomical understanding of their builders, bridging the earthly and the divine in their monumental designs.
Imagine standing before a vast network of subterranean caverns, extending thousands of square meters deep into the earth, carved from the unique volcanic tuff known as Oya Stone. The caverns at the Oya Stone Quarry in Utsunomiya were first created centuries ago. and it seems nearly impossible for humans of that era to have shaped such an immense and complex structure with nothing more than rudimentary tools and sheer human effort. Yet, somehow they did. Was there more at play here than meets the eye?
I can't help thinking time capsule, that there was an intention to preserve this.
Fast forward to today, and despite our advanced technology and engineering prowess, replicating such a feat remains a formidable challenge. This marvel of both natural formation and human endeavour invites us to explore its depths, uncovering the secrets held within its echoing chambers and imposing walls.
I want to know what else is going to be found that hasn't been investigated yet at all. We're just touching the edge of a huge mystery.
The history of the Oya Stone Quarry reveals a fascinating evolution in Japan's building practices, showcasing the transition from localized resource extraction to large-scale industrial use. Although the exact date of the quarry's discovery isn't precisely documented, evidence suggests that small-scale extraction began around the Heian period.
The history is largely that period for which we have written documents, and archaeology is the period before that where we don't have written documents.
The stone's unique properties quickly made it popular for local construction needs, particularly in building religious structures like temples and shrines. Its ease of carving, when freshly quarried, made it ideal for creating the detailed sculptures and iconography integral to these religious sites. During the Edo period, the use of Oya stone expanded significantly, driven by economic and social changes. Under the relative peace of the Tokugawa shogunate, Japan experienced urbanization, which increased the demand for durable building materials. Oya stone's enhanced fire resistance made it particularly valuable in Edo, where densely built urban areas were prone to fires. Technological advancements in extraction techniques also contributed to this expansion. The introduction of better chiseling tools and systematic methods for removing large blocks from deeper layers reflected a growing sophistication in mining practices. The demand for Oya stone grew as Edo and other cities expanded, requiring massive quantities of durable materials. The stone was extensively used in constructing walls, bridges, and infrastructure capable of withstanding the elements and frequent fires, which were common in wooden cities. As the demand increased, the shogunate began to regulate quarrying operations more strictly. This regulation ensured sustainable extraction practices, preserving the resource for longer periods. When comparing Oya stone to European limestone, we see both materials were used extensively for similar purposes, such as building constructions and statues, especially in fire-sensitive areas. Both stones share the valuable property of hardening over time, making them ideal for enduring structures. However, the cultural context of their use differed. European limestone usage often emphasized aesthetic qualities alongside practical considerations, while in Japan, the practical applications of Oya stone, particularly its fire resistance, were more prominently valued. Tracing its operations back to around 800 AD during the early Heian period, the Oya Stone Quarry's origins coincide with a time of consolidation of power in the Japanese imperial court. Initially, the stone was utilized for constructing the foundations and lower structures of buildings in local villages, owing to its accessibility and ease of carving when freshly quarried. Oya stone's unique property of being relatively soft when first quarried, but hardening upon exposure to air allowed ancient builders to carve it easily during the initial stages of construction. Once exposed to air, the stone would solidify, forming a durable structure. As the Heian period progressed, and the cultural center of Japan shifted to Kyoto, the architectural demand grew. The stone's popularity increased, likely due to its fire-resistant properties. By the late Heian period, Oya stone was being transported beyond the local region, finding its way into more significant and prestigious construction projects, including temples, shrines, and statues across Japan. Historical records often highlight its use in state-sponsored construction projects, suggesting its rising importance. The increasing demand for Oya stone led to the expansion of quarry operations. Techniques for quarrying evolved from simple manual methods to to more organised mining activities involving larger labour forces. The quarry became a focal point for the development of the local economy, providing numerous jobs and leading to the growth of surrounding communities. There is a theory that the quarry was discovered and initially developed under the auspices of the imperial family of Japan, who might have used it to demonstrate their divine right to rule by building temples and palaces using this unique stone. This theory is partly based on the frequent use of Oya stone in imperial and noble projects during the Heian period. The stone's distinctiveness and the grandeur it imparted to buildings would have symbolized the celestial and exalted status of the emperor. Transitioning from this historical perspective, the underground caverns of the Oya Stone Quarry in Utsunomiya, Tochigi Prefecture offer a fascinating study in geology, history, and acoustics. Spanning an impressive 20,000 square meters, this vast network developed over centuries of mining, creating a subterranean landscape with varying heights and widths. Some sections plunged to depths of 60 meters, equivalent to the height of a 20-story building, adding a significant vertical dimension to the cavern's complexity. The walls of these caverns, carved directly from Oya stone, bear distinct marks from pickaxes and chisels, serving as historical records of the quarry's operational past. These markings narrate the evolution of mining technology and techniques over the years. Occasionally, tools and other artifacts left behind by miners are discovered within the caverns, preserved as part of the site's historical display. Natural features within the stone, such as variations in colour, vein patterns, and pockets of different mineral compositions, provide additional insights into the region's geological history. Renowned for their unique acoustic properties, the caverns allow for minimal echo and clarity of sound that is highly prized in musical performances. The porosity and density of Oya stone absorb and dampen sound effectively, making the caverns a coveted recording venue for artists seeking a unique sound environment that traditional studios cannot easily replicate. Comparatively, the underground caverns of the Oya Stone Quarry can be likened to the ancient underground cities of Cappadocia in Turkey. Both are carved directly into volcanic rock, yet they served different primary purposes. Oya's caverns were primarily industrial, while Cappadocia's were designed for habitation and protection, complete with living quarters, churches, and ventilation shafts. An intriguing theory suggests that the extensive network and depth of the Oya caverns could have provided strategic military advantages during historical conflicts. Given their depth and complexity, the caverns could have served as hiding spots or secret passages during times of war. This theory is supported by Japan's historical precedents for utilizing landscape features in military strategies, such as using fog and terrain advantages in battles.
Perched high atop the rugged peaks of the Taurus Mountains in southeastern Turkey, the tomb of King Antiochus Theos of Commagene at Mount Nemrut beckons with the whispers of ancient secrets and celestial mysteries. Erected over 2 millennia ago, this monumental sanctuary is not only a marvel of Hellenistic engineering, but also a cryptic canvas of colossal gods and inscriptions that blend the myths of East and West. As the sun rises and sets, aligning perfectly with the stone behemoths that guard this sacred summit, the mystery deepens. What divine ambitions did this forgotten king harbor, and what secrets lie buried beneath these stone giants, silently watching over the empire of Commagene? For centuries, the towering statues of Mount Nemrut stood silently, known only to the local people who wove their existence into the fabric of local myths, calling it the throne of the gods. This mix of reverence and legend kept the site tucked away in the annals of folklore until a twist of fate brought it back into the light. In the 1880s, Karl Sester, a German road engineer working on infrastructure projects for the Ottoman Empire, stumbled upon these majestic relics not out of archaeological zeal, but through sheer happenstance. His subsequent sketches and reports were the first to unveil the grandeur of Nemrut's statues to the Western world, sparking a wave of interest among European archaeologists and historians. The rediscovery of Mount Nemrut set the stage for a series of explorations that would delve deeper into its historical and cultural contexts. Shortly after Sesta, Osman Hamdi Bey, an Ottoman archaeologist and painter, conducted more systematic studies at the site. He proposed that the Grand Mound could very well be the tomb of King Antiochus III of Commagene, an idea supported by the inscriptions and formidable statues that guard the site. This period marked a significant turning point, drawing a flurry of academic expeditions that pieced together the narrative of King Antiochus I, while enriching the field of Near Eastern archaeology. The artistic styles of the statues, with their blend of Persian, Hellenistic, and indigenous elements, provide a fascinating glimpse into the cultural interplay of the Hellenistic period, post-Alexander the Great's conquests. This fusion of artistic influences offers a window into the dynamic cultural exchanges of the era, further underscoring the historical significance of southeastern Turkey as a cultural crossroads. Perched at an altitude of 2,134 meters in the rugged Taurus Mountains, Mount Nemrut commands a view that stretches vast and wide, overseeing the Euphrates River Valley. This strategic and visual dominance was no accident. It was a clear symbol of power and divine status, meticulously chosen by King Antiochus I. The site's layout, with its statues and burial mound aligned to catch the rays of the rising sun during the equinox and the setting sun at the summer solstice, underscores the solar worship prevalent during Antiochus's reign. This astronomical alignment not only highlights the king's desire to link himself with the cosmos, but also speaks volumes about the sophisticated understanding of celestial patterns by ancient civilizations. The mystical heights of Mount Nemrut in southeastern Turkey are not only a testament to ancient engineering, but also to the pioneering spirit of those who have uncovered its secrets. In 1953, American archaeologist Teresa Girl began a systematic exploration of this enigmatic site, which was particularly groundbreaking as it was one of the first major archaeological projects led by a woman. Her work, supported by institutions like the Bollingen Foundation, the American Philosophical Society, and later the National Geographic Society, was crucial for the sustained excavation and research that would follow. Despite numerous challenges, including harsh weather conditions and logistical issues in transporting equipment up the mountain, Girl's team persevered. Using traditional excavation techniques, Girl and her crew were meticulous in their approach, ensuring the integrity of every artifact and structure discovered. Their efforts unveiled not just the colossal statues, but also a series of reliefs and inscriptions that illuminated the cultural and religious life of the Kingdom of Commagene. These findings were pivotal in confirming that the tumulus was indeed the burial site of Antiochus III, aligning with earlier hypotheses about the site's purpose. As archaeological methods advanced, later explorations at Mount Nemrut incorporated technologies such as digital mapping and photogrammetry. These tools allowed archaeologists to capture high-resolution images of the site, which facilitated precise measurements and detailed records of the statues and inscriptions without risking physical damage. Techniques like ground-penetrating radar and electrical resistivity tomography were also employed to probe the internal structure of the tumulus, searching for potential burial chambers or other archaeological features without the need for invasive digging. Further studies have focused on the astronomical significance of the site's layout. Researchers suggest that the arrangement of the statues may align with the rising and setting of the sun during solstices and equinoxes, hinting at these events' religious or ceremonial importance in Antiochus's ideology. From the tomb of Antiochus the Bion at Mount Nemrut to the pyramids of Giza in Egypt, there lies a fascinating comparison. Both sites were built as tombs for their respective rulers, serving as monumental tributes to their power and divine status. However, while the pyramids are primarily massive stone structures designed to house the pharaoh's remains and belongings for the afterlife, Mount Nemrut combines burial purposes with a religious sanctuary, featuring colossal statues that showcase a blend of Hellenistic and Persian influences. Moreover, both sites exhibit significant astronomical alignments. The pyramids are meticulously aligned to the cardinal points, possibly reflecting celestial phenomena, while Nemrut's layout seems to focus on solar events, emphasizing the importance of astronomy in ancient religious and burial practices. This fascinating alignment hints at a deeper connection between celestial phenomena and the divine rites of ancient rulers, suggesting that these majestic sites were not only final resting places, but also key to understanding the cosmos itself. The artifacts and inscriptions unearthed at Mount Nemrut serve as crucial pieces in piecing together the reign of Antiochus the Theos and the syncretic fabric of the Commagene kingdom. It's truly fascinating how these discoveries offer deep insights into his ambitions and ideological foundations. The inscriptions on Mount Nemrut are a linguistic blend of Greek and Persian, underscoring the dual influences that shaped the kingdom. Greek served as the lingua franca of the broader Hellenistic world, while Persian reflected the local traditions and the legacy of the Achaemenid Empire from which Commagene emerged. Delving deeper into the inscriptions, they frequently include detailed genealogies that link Antiochus to deities and illustrious rulers. This not only legitimized his rule, but also positioned him as a cultural and celestial bridge. Among these, the Nomos of Antiochus inscription is particularly noteworthy. This foundational text outlined the religious and administrative laws Antiochus established, detailing ritual practices and festivals to honor him alongside the gods after his death, effectively creating a state religion that deified the king. Turning our gaze to the statues and reliefs, the iconography at Mount Nemrut is nothing short of spectacular. The statues depict Antiochus the Tarn alongside a pantheon of gods such as Zeus Oromazdes, Apollo Mithras, and Hercules Artagnes, merging Greek and Persian divine figures. These statues are not only colossal but intricately carved from stone, showcasing a blend of artistic styles that highlight Antiochus's role as a mediator between his people and the divine. This symbolic placement elevates him to a semi-divine status, visually asserting his place in the cosmic order. An interesting parallel can be drawn between the statues at Mount Nemrut and China's terracotta army. Both serve profound funerary and commemorative purposes, standing as guardians over the afterlives of their respective rulers and as monumental tributes to their divine status. However, while the terracotta army underscores the military might of the Chinese emperor, the statues at Mount Nemrut emphasize a blend of military prowess and divine wisdom, reflecting Antiochus's unique approach to rulership. Moreover, one of the most captivating theories about Mount Nemrut concerns its astronomical alignment. Researchers suggest that the arrangement of the statues and the tumulus itself may align with astronomical phenomena such as solstices and equinoxes. This alignment might mark significant dates like Antiochus's birthday or coronation day, or serve to highlight seasonal festivals that reinforced his divine kingship.
A Roman site for sure, but what about this bizarre enclosure wall that surrounds it?
Nestled in the fertile Bekaa Valley of Lebanon, the ancient site of Baalbek is a testament to architectural and cultural grandeur spanning thousands of years. Known as Heliopolis during the Hellenistic period, Baalbek's journey began as a modest Phoenician town named Baalath, dedicated to the worship of Baal, a god associated with the sun and storms, pivotal to the agricultural rituals of its people. The transformation of Baalbek accelerated following its conquest by Alexander the Great in 334 BC. Under Alexander, the city absorbed Greek cultural and architectural elements, emblematic of his broader strategy to fuse Greek and local traditions across the regions he conquered. This Hellenistic influence set the stage for Baalbek's later architectural evolution under the Romans, who saw the city's strategic and religious potential.
What archaeologists say, they found they could move 900-ton blocks, but 1,000 tons was too much for them.
Roman architects and engineers embarked on an ambitious construction agenda in the 1st century BC, which saw Baalbek grow into a grand ceremonial center. The centerpiece was the Temple of Jupiter, one of the largest temples in the Roman Empire, featuring 54 massive granite columns, each standing 70 feet tall. Today, only 6 of these majestic columns remain, but they continue to dominate the landscape, offering a window into what was an architectural marvel of the ancient world. Nearby, the Temple of Bacchus stands as a testament to Roman decorative art and architectural detail, with its well-preserved carvings depicting mythological scenes and festivities. Not far from these, the Temple of Venus showcases a unique circular design, breaking from traditional Roman architectural norms and highlighting a syncretic blend of Roman and local religious practices. Baalbek's construction feats, especially the transportation and placement of massive limestone blocks, draw parallels with other ancient marvels like the Egyptian pyramids and Stonehenge, showcasing the Romans' advanced engineering techniques.
Look at the famous King's Chamber. Its walls and its ceiling of the King's Chamber are all made with gigantic blocks.
The site was not just an architectural statement, but also a cultural hub, attracting pilgrims and spectators from across the empire to its religious festivals and games, blending Roman and local traditions in grand displays of public celebration. In comparison to other monumental Roman sites like the Pantheon in Rome, Baalbek stands out for its scale and the complexity involved in erecting such gigantic structures far from the Roman heartland. The Pantheon, with its massive dome and oculus, reflects similar ambitions in Roman architectural prowess, but in a vastly different urban setting. Both sites, however, illustrate the Roman Empire's architectural ambition and its ability to mobilize resources and technology across its vast territories. The stone blocks of Baalbek, particularly within the Temple of Jupiter complex, represent some of the most astonishing elements of ancient architecture found anywhere in the world. These massive stones serve as a testament to the extraordinary engineering prowess of their builders. Their construction techniques and capabilities continue to spark both fascination and scholarly debate. At the heart of the complex sits the Trilithon, a trio of stone blocks that form the podium of the Temple of Jupiter. Each stone measures roughly 64 feet in length, 13 feet in height, and 14 feet in width, and weighs about 800 tons. The precision with which these gigantic stones are fitted together, without any mortar, is truly remarkable. Such an engineering feat required not only advanced planning and ample resources, but also the ingenious use of simple machines like levers and inclined planes, combined with significant human and mechanical effort. Just about 900 meters from the main temple complex, in a nearby quarry, lies the Stone of the Pregnant Woman.
The quarry contains a number of very large blocks that were never transported.
This monolith, approximately 69 feet long and weighing around 1,000 tons, has never been moved from where it was originally cut. The stone's name comes from a local legend suggesting that touching the stone can ensure a safe and easy delivery for pregnant women, highlighting the cultural and superstitious significance these ancient stones hold within local folklore. In 2014, an even larger stone was unearthed in the same quarry.
Why only recently excavated? Because the whole site was covered in sedimentation.
At 64 feet in length and estimated to weigh about 1,650 tons, it stands as the largest known stone ever carved by human hands. This discovery significantly expanded our understanding of the capabilities of ancient engineers and their technological advancements. Comparing these megalithic stones to other ancient wonders provides further context to their impressive nature. For instance, while Stonehenge in England is renowned for its circular arrangement of standing stones, the largest of these stones weighs merely about 30 tons, far less than the massive blocks of Baalbek. The construction of Stonehenge involved transporting stones over long distances, presenting a different type of logistical challenge and ingenuity. However, the sheer scale and weight of the Baalbek stones showcase an unparalleled architectural ambition in the ancient world. Similarly, when we consider the Egyptian pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid of Giza, the limestone blocks typically weigh between 2 to 15 tons, with the largest granite stones in the King's Chamber weighing between 25 to 80 tons.
Now, Egyptologists will tell you that, they could move heavy blocks because they put them on wet sand and they push them along on wet sand. Maybe if you're just at ground level, that will do, but when you're 350 feet above the ground, as you are in the King's Chamber, that won't do at all.
The stones of Baalbek far exceed these in size, highlighting the unique challenges and skills required for their transport and placement. Unlike the primarily tomb-like structures of the Giza pyramids, Baalbek's temples served ceremonial and religious functions, indicating diverse uses of massive stones across ancient civilizations. This comparison not only illustrates the monumental scale of Baalbek's construction, but also underscores the diverse architectural and cultural expressions of ancient societies. The Baalbek temple complex, with its colossal stone blocks, stands as one of the greatest engineering achievements of the ancient world. The tasks involved in constructing this monumental site weren't just about brute strength. They required meticulous planning, advanced organizational skills, and a deep understanding of physics and engineering principles. These elements combined challenge our modern perceptions of ancient technology and showcase the ingenuity of our ancestors. The architectural grandeur of Baalbek was no accident. It reflected the Roman Empire's immense ambition and its desire to display power and divine favor. The sheer scale of the temples served multiple purposes, both religious and political, reinforcing the might of Rome and the sanctity of the location. This complex was designed to awe and affirm the presence of Roman authority in the region. The transportation of the massive stones is believed to have been primarily conducted using rollers made from large tree trunks, with the stones themselves placed on sledges. These sledges, acting as platforms, helped distribute the weight of the stones and prevented the rollers from sinking into the ground. Historical texts even mention the use of olive oil as a lubricant on the paths, a technique that significantly reduced friction, making it easier to move these enormous weights over considerable distances. The placement of these giant stones remains a subject of debate among historians. Techniques such as the use of wooden cranes, which were similar to those used in medieval constructions, likely played a role. These cranes, utilizing ropes, pulleys, and possibly treadwheels, would have amplified the force exerted by humans or animals. Another plausible technique involved constructing large earth ramps, which would have provided a gradual incline to drag the stones into their precise positions. Lever systems, employing long wooden beams to lift and position stones, might have also been used, requiring less material than ramps, but a greater understanding of leverage mechanics. Drawing parallels, the construction techniques theorized for Baalbek closely resemble those hypothesized for the building of the Egyptian pyramids, particularly the Pyramid of Giza. Like Baalbek, the transportation of the pyramid stones likely involved sledges and possibly rollers, with the use of water as a lubricant depicted in ancient Egyptian wall paintings. For lifting, the Egyptians are believed to have utilized a combination of ramps and lever systems. Constructed over a millennium before Baalbek, the pyramids highlight a continuity in complex engineering techniques that span cultures and ages, underscoring a shared architectural heritage in the ancient world. This shared legacy speaks volumes about the ingenuity embedded in ancient construction practices, linking disparate cultures through their monumental achievements.